Hey everybody, and welcome to Robin's house. Today we're working on the Cape Cod card making workshop, and this is for the optional technique that we feature in this one, using the Toffee ink and your water brush in order to create some shadow and texture on your die cut shapes. So how you do that is you take your Toffee ink and you push in on it. When you open it up, you'll have some ink in the lid of your ink pad. And you take your water brush and squeeze a little bit to get some water on there. And then all you need to do is take your brush and kind of trace those lines that are die cut in here. And at first you're going to think, this looks dumb. This doesn't look anything like I want it to. And I'm happy to tell you that it doesn't matter. Go ahead and do it. And even if you think it's dumb, when you look at it, when your card is finished or the next day, you'll be like, wow, that looks really amazing. And it does. It looks like you've shadowed and just made your card so much more impressive. And this one is even hard to tell if I painted on a blue on the toffee or if I made toffee shadows. So it looks really cool. So I just want to say, go ahead and give it a try and see how it comes out. And I think you will be impressed. So that is my coloring of this one. On the second card, it's having you do tone on tone. So it's just the same exact thing. You're just taking your water brush, and I like how the lines that the die cut machine created, it kind of pulls in some of that ink and it almost gets darker there in those lines. And I think that's pretty cool, especially if you can get them to not quite touch. But I'm not being successful at that, at least not very well, but I don't even care. And then doing these insides, and you can even color the insides along with it if you want it to be, because sand dollars kind of have something going on in that middle section. There we go. So see how easy that is? But when it gets down on your card, you won't even tell that it shouldn't be that way. Then on the last, not the last card, but on the card 3 and 4, it has you taking your shapes and then doing more than just tracing those lines, but actually pulling up some of the color, making it look nice and dirty. You can already tell it looks really cool. And then, so there's other things you can do. I'm doing the swirly one because I like the swirly one. Tracing those outside lines to give it some texture. It looks really neat. So I hope you guys will give that a try. But let's say for pretend you try it and you just can't make it work. You don't like it. Well, before we get to that, you can also, if you don't want to make them dirty, why not make them pretty? So take your periwinkle instead, get that toffee off there, get your periwinkle, do periwinkle instead. So just add those exact same technique. You can even try to be a little more careful. Let's try to be careful. Get it, only in those lines. I'm getting a little less careful here. That's okay, because that's how nature is. It is definitely not perfect. And then we'll get that shadow in there along the edges. And a little bit more here on the inside. The more water you add, the lighter it'll be. Obviously, the darker or less water you have in there, the darker it'll be. There we go. So you can have a shadowed, colorful shell. Now, if you don't want to paint at all, you don't like how that looks, what else can you do? Well, I think it would look amazing if we took this little shell and we sanded it. So instead of adding color, take some color away. And I think that's really neat on those edges. And then the way these die cuts are made, you can kind of press out the middle even. So you can create something that has a texture within a texture. And that's really cool too. You could try that with your toffee ones. It's fast and easy. If you don't have a sanding block, you can just go out in the garage and get some sandpaper. Try to do something here in this middle. There you go. Fast and easy. The very last suggestion that I have, you don't want to do any of those. You can do the old standby, which is taking your sponge and your ink pad and just doing the edges. And that's even faster. It's also kind of dirtier almost, isn't it? And it looks really cool. So there are 3 different ways that you can use your to color your seashells. This was really fun. And don't forget to do your wash too. All that is getting some ink on there and splashing some color. Easy, easy. Thank you so much for watching. Happy crafting.